And a red play twos of a demon hunter? Yeah, you can play twos of anything. At the end of the day though, if you talk about like the best comps in twos, it's been the same thing for years. Healer DPS, rogue mage. If you're not playing one of those two, it's usually not going to be like a top tier comp. But like double DPS red is good definitely, right? Like it can compete with those comps. It's not exactly meta, but it's okay. Yeah, that's what I'm playing. I'm 2700, we're rank 5 I guess. I'm playing red elemental shaman with Smex. Red's definitely one of the best like double DPS players right now. Like, and actually one of the ones that can enable it outside of rogue mage. But you know, if you're talking about like top tier comps, it's been the same shit. Every year. Rogue mage, healer DPS. If you look at the top of the ladder, top like 50, it's gonna be like all rogue mage and healer DPS. I think I'm like one of the only ones that's not playing that. And like I said, red double DPS is good, so like don't I think it's just like, you know, the people are just so used to that meta. Yeah, warrior H-Pal, definitely the main one. Warrior healer. I don't know why I pressed wings, that was kind of troll. I was talking in muscle memory, no joke. Yeah, that's what I'm playing. I'm 2700, we're rank 5 I guess. I'm playing red elemental shaman with Smex. I play sometimes with holy priest with envious as well, but in most recent games we're red Ellie with Smex. And demon hunter's honestly not too bad of a partner because they can kind of live on their own. The main thing with red double DPS is you kind of need to play with something that lives on their own would be ideal. So but then like, hey, like yeah, the demon hunter's actually okay because they do have a lot of self cooldowns to live for a while on their own without like much help from you. Because if you have to baby someone else and yourself, then you kind of just like fall behind against a lot of comps, especially like warrior healer as they were talking about. They're really tough if you have to baby a different DPS that doesn't have any self survivability. For example, like hunters are actually kind of hard for rets to play with, but I would say ret BM hunter is actually decent. Because BM hunters can kind of live on their own just because of their positioning. They're not actually like, you know, they don't like heal themselves or not really, right? Their healing cooldown is long. But the reason why ret BM hunter is actually decent in twos is the BM hunter can position himself so defensively and still do like okay-ish, you know, still be basically doing his damage. That's why it's okay. But if you play like a marksman hunter, like it's not bad. No, I rep a red hunter with Robin Hood just now earlier with we were still like 2200 actually. But it's definitely like a lot harder than playing like a BM hunter or like a hybrid, someone that can live on their own. Yo, not 83, thanks for Prime Gaming sub, I appreciate that. That's another like low-key one. I think a lot of people already have their eyes on. A lot of people know warlocks are probably gonna be good, and everyone knows warriors are already really good, obviously, and they're getting buffs, so everyone knows that. So eyes are already on warrior and warlock. But Ellie buffs, I think, are a little low-key. I think they're gonna be insane. They're so good already. Is enhanced getting buffs too? Okay, that's the one I don't even know. I think if anything, something that's gonna hurt us more is if warlocks do become meta again, then that is scarier than anything else for us. Warlocks are the biggest double caster fiends in this game. Even mages actually tend to play with melees. So like caster melee is not like a counter to us or anything, but two casters has always been really hard for rets, right? And warlocks love playing double caster. They love to damp us with that shit. So I don't know if it's enough if the warlock buffs are gonna make the meta, but if they are, then that's like a bigger deal than whatever is happening to us. Because if warlocks start raining the ladder with like warlock Ellie, warlock mage, like shadow priest, we're not good into those comps. We never happen. We don't have the toolkit for it. But that's gonna be a bigger deal than whatever happens to us. Red is good for us Aflocks. Individually, we're okay, but not really. No, even then, I don't know. I don't think we're good at the warlocks. We're just our WOG is definitely like annoying for them. I get that, but compared to the actual damage they can output and the fact that we can't actually hit them, good warlocks cannot be hit by reds. When I fight shadow play right now, we don't usually kill warlock because, you know, if I'm fighting a 3.2k warlock, he's probably like Chanimals or Nazem. He's like a tournament warlock. I can't hit him. It's not a thing. It's not, like I don't have the toolkit to hit him. It's nothing to do with like who's playing good or bad. Well, I mean, it's obviously the warlock's playing well, but I just don't have the toolkit to keep up with a warlock, right? I just usually just kill the shadow priest. Now, currently, they just, especially if I play with a holy pally, they're kind of like a joke. That's like the insane thing, right? How Shadow Resist Aura and Holy Pally heals makes Warlock kind of a joke right now. But if they start doing some damage and we can't ignore them, that would be scary for sure. Because right now, I honestly can just ignore them. Not like that big of a deal. You still like get damaged, obviously. You have to press cooldowns, but not the end of the world when you ignore a Warlock. If you have a Holy Pally healer on your team, back it's usually completely fine. Like I said, I'm not positive if this will make Warlocks the meta, but definitely a chance. You know, they're not like, yeah, they're one of the scariest classes for us. Always have been. Mainly because they play double caster. If they play like Warrior Lock, I'm actually not too worried about something like Warrior Lock. Like that could still be really hard. Don't get me wrong. Like if it's a strong comp, but that won't be like because our class is bad into that. Because Ret's fine into like one caster, one melee. Because at least we have something to hit while we're chasing the Warlock. That's like the big problem. When you play against two casters, there are just times when there's like nothing to do. So yeah, if Warrior Lock is the meta, which it could be, definitely. That won't actually be as bad for us. The problem it stems is if Warlock Ellie, Warlock Shadow Priest, Warlock Mage, if those comps become meta, we're probably gonna kind of suck into any of those comps. Yeah, basically two casters. That's always been our bane. If two casters become meta, then it's gonna be rough. More so than the Ring Clarity nerf itself. The Ring Clarity nerf itself will, like, I think it's fine. It's not that big of a deal, really. It matters, and I think it's honestly not a bad change, because, like, Ring Clarity was kind of like a toxic mechanic behind it, right? I personally didn't really like. It was just funny, the random one-shot, but it was kind of bad for the game-wise. I'm gonna try Final Verdict? Yep, that's why I'm doing this. I'm gonna make a 2-10-1 first, because that's all I can make. Being honest. Yeah, I mean, it's not even, it's almost like definitely gonna be good with its current buff. I still think Prot Lego is gonna be used most of the time, but Final Verdict will definitely be like pretty insane when you can afford to play more offensive. Which I like into cleaves. I do. It's gonna be insane into cleaves because it also fucks up disarm. It'll make disarming us like so like weak too. So it's like perfect if you fight like Turbo. Just have to watch out for Chain Harvest against Turbo here, but oh well, sometimes Chain Harvest kills even without with Prot Legos or whatever. Actually, don't think Prot Legos really need it into Turbo. All of our offense conduits except for Ring Clarity is so bad right now. Virtuous Command also does like nothing. It's all of it is shit except for ringing. Like when people look at my conduits, they're just like, "Why are you using like no offense conduits in that?" I'm like, "Why would I?" They're fucking awful. They're all awful except for Ring Clarity, obviously. That one's insane, and then everything else is so weak. And it was funny when I go on my Windwalker, it's like all offense conduits, and I wish I could get more because Windwalker offense conduits are so good. Yeah, the red ones are definitely shit, except for that one, obviously. I don't know if that fixed is a buff or not. No, I don't know. I don't know, Gorban. I mean, hopefully, because our conduits are, except for Ring Clarity, pretty bad. Alright, one character done. So we'll do our alliance one, but let's do some arenas first before we do more Torghast. Fucking Torghast. I was so happy to be done with this. Ah, now we gotta be back for a few weeks.